the silent killers. You think it'll be the yelling, the cheating, the big betrayal. But most relationships don't die with a bang. They fade in silence. One "I'm fine" at a time. One ignored message. One tired smile. Until two people who used to feel like home start feeling like strangers in the same room. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts, each one seemingly insignificant on its own, but together, they carve canyons of resentment and loneliness. The death of emotional intimacy. You know that feeling? You're sitting across from the person you love, maybe sharing a meal, maybe just sharing the same space, and you realize you haven't truly them in weeks. You're still having conversations, but they're empty. Logistics, schedules, dinner plans, but not your fears, your wins, your worries, the things that used to bring you close, those raw, vulnerable pieces of yourselves you shared so freely. They're buried under layers of routine and unexpressed emotions. And that's how the distance starts. It's subtle at first. You tell yourself you're just busy, stressed, tired, but the truth is, you've stopped making space for each other's hearts. You're no longer reaching out, digging deep, truly one another. And slowly, silently, that lack of emotional intimacy transforms your relationship into a transaction. Your roommates, co-parents, two ships passing in the night, sharing the same harbor but no longer sailing in the same direction. The erosion of gratitude. Think back to the beginning. Remember how their kindness used to take your breath away? How you'd notice every little thing they did for you, every act of love, every gesture of support. It was new, it was exciting, it was a constant reminder of how lucky you were to have found each other. But somewhere along the way, familiarity set in. Those grand gestures you used to celebrate became expectations. The everyday acts of love, the ones that truly make up a life together, became invisible. And that's when love starts to die from neglect. Not from a lack of love itself, but from a lack of for the love that's right in front of you. It's easy to fall into this trap. Life gets busy. Responsibilities pile up. We get so caught up in our own heads, our own to-do lists, that we forget to pause and truly the love that's being offered to us every single day. We stop saying thank you. We stop noticing. We stop acknowledging the beautiful, messy, extraordinary dance of partnership. The weight of unspoken words. We've all been there. That moment when something your partner says, something seemingly small and insignificant, triggers a wave of anger, hurt, or resentment that seems completely out of proportion to the situation. And you know, deep down it's not really about what they just said. It's about all the things you haven't said. All the hurts you've swallowed, the disappointments you've brushed aside, the resentments you've allowed to fester beneath the surface of your relationship. We hold our tongues for so many reasons, don't we? To keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to protect ourselves from being vulnerable, from being hurt, from being rejected. But here's the thing about unexpressed emotions. They don't just disappear. They burrow deep inside, building walls brick by unspoken brick until one day, even the smallest offense feels like an insurmountable obstacle. Resentment is a silent killer. It thrives in the darkness, feeding on all those things we're too afraid to say out loud. And the longer we let it fester, the more it poisons the well of our relationships. When silence becomes a wall. You know those conversations? The ones that start with a lump in your throat and a deep, unsettling feeling that something is. The ones where you try to voice your needs, your fears, your concerns, and are met with a wall of silence. Or worse, deflection, defensiveness, or anger. It's like trying to have a conversation with a brick wall. You're pouring your heart out and it's just absorbed into the cold, hard surface. Emotional stonewalling. It's one of the most insidious forms of disconnection in relationships. It's the silent treatment, the refusal to engage. The "I don't want to fight" that really means I don't want to face the discomfort of your emotions. And slowly, over time, it chips away at the foundation of your connection. Because here's the thing, conflict is inevitable in any relationship. The poison of comparison. We live in a world obsessed with comparison. Social media feeds us a constant stream of curated perfection. Perfect relationships, perfect families, perfect lives. It's easy to get caught up in that trap, to start measuring our own relationships against the unrealistic standards set by others. And often the comparisons happen internally, silently chipping away at our sense of contentment and gratitude. You see that couple on Instagram, their staged smiles and perfectly filtered photos, and suddenly you feel a pang of envy. You hear a friend gushing about their partner's latest grand gesture, and you can't help but compare it to your own seemingly ordinary relationship. The problem is, comparison focuses our attention on what's missing, on what we lack, instead of appreciating the beauty, the uniqueness, the irreplaceable magic of what we have. And here's the thing, every relationship is different. Every couple has their own rhythm, their own language, their own way of loving and being loved. When we get caught up in comparison, we lose sight of that. The slow fade of physical affection. Remember when you first fell in love? Remember the way your skin tingled at the slightest touch? The way a simple hug could make you feel safe, seen, and cherished? Physical affection is the language of love. It's how we connect on a primal, visceral level. It's a powerful way to communicate love, intimacy, and desire. But as relationships mature, as life gets busy, it's easy to let physical affection slip away. We get comfortable. We get complacent. We stop making time for those small, seemingly insignificant gestures of love. The goodnight kisses, the random hugs, the hand-holding while you're walking down the street. And slowly, silently, a distance grows between you. It's not always intentional, it's not always a sign that the love is gone, but it can create a chasm of emotional and physical disconnect. When we stop touching, we stop feeling. We stop experiencing that deep, primal connection that binds us together. And here's the thing, intimacy isn't just about sex. Losing the art of curiosity. Remember those early days of getting to know each other? The endless questions, the fascination with every detail, the joy of discovering who this other person truly was? Love thrives on curiosity. It's about wanting to know everything about the other person, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, their passions. It's about approaching the relationship with a sense of wonder, a desire to peel back the layers and discover the depths of their soul. But as relationships mature, as we settle into the comfortable rhythm of familiarity, it's easy to lose that sense of curiosity. We stop asking questions, we stop really listening. We assume we know everything there is to know about our partners, that we've heard all their stories, that we've explored every corner of their hearts. And that's when relationships start to feel stale. When we stop learning about each other, we stop growing together, we become stagnant, stuck in a rut, living parallel lives instead of truly sharing a journey. The conditional listener, you know that feeling? The one where you're trying to share something important with your partner, something vulnerable, something raw and real, and you can tell they're not really listening. They're distracted, they're dismissive, or worse, they're already formulating their response before you've even finished speaking. Conditional listening. It's one of the most insidious forms of disconnection in relationships. It's the subtle message that we're only worthy of being heard when we're saying things that make our partners feel comfortable, when our emotions don't challenge them, when our needs don't inconvenience them. Real love listens with an open heart, even when it's hard. It sits with discomfort, wades through difficult emotions, and creates a safe space for vulnerability. Outgrowing the garden of love. Love is a living, breathing entity. It requires nurturing, attention, and a willingness to grow and evolve alongside each other. But sometimes, despite our best intentions, life pulls us in different directions. We develop new passions, discover new dreams, and find ourselves on paths that no longer seem to align. This can be one of the most painful silent killers of relationships. It's not about blame, it's not about right or wrong, it's simply about acknowledging that, sometimes, two people who were once perfectly in sync find themselves out of step. Maybe one partner prioritizes security and stability, while the other craves adventure and growth. Maybe one partner seeks comfort in routine while the other feels stifled by the mundane. The silence after the storm. We all make mistakes. We all mess up, say the wrong thing, or hurt the people we love. It's an inevitable part of being human. But what matters most is what happens after the hurt. It's how we show up, how we take responsibility, how we repair the damage and rebuild trust. One of the most heartbreaking silent killers of relationships is the silence after the storm. It's the refusal to acknowledge the pain, the minimization of the hurt, the expectation that we should just move on as if nothing happened. Reclaiming your voice, reclaiming your worth. Love rarely dies in fire, it dies in neglect, in silence, in the things you stop doing, the check-ins you stop making, the words you stop saying, the comfort you stop offering. And if this video hurt, it's because some part of you knows it's already happening, but it's not too late. For healing, for reconnection, or for walking away with your self-worth intact. Choosing to see these silent killers, to name them, to bring them into the light. That's the first step towards healing. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more content on building healthier relationships.